welcome to ETTO's Catch Up. I'm Will.
I'm Josh, and back finally, but also with more COVID.
It's been a while, Joshua.
It has. It's been a few weeks. We have barely really spoken much. Just very, every couple of days, really, since you left.
Yeah. I think I've been I've been busy, but I've also been like, Josh is doing things. Like, I know I'm consciously aware that you are busy, so I'm like, I'm not just going to fuck around with messages. He's just too busy.
It's been a crazy few weeks, but things have simmered down now. My parents left this morning, so that means renovations have finished. Yeah. There's still some stuff we can do, but it's fine. Now I just have to put things in places and organize the apartment, whereas a lot of this section is it's quite done, and I've got skateboards. There is more skateboards that way that you can't see right now, but it's beautiful. I have a bunch of things to show you.
Please.
My sister went to Europe.
Yep.
She brought back a bunch of things. One of them is this.
Oh, that's nice.
This is also from Disneyland Paris, so it's
clean.
Looks like nice, clean little tea, but then on the back you have dirty
as fuck.
Sentinel of Liberty. First Avenger. It's very cool.
It's almost the Punisher's icon, which is weird.
Kind of, right? Yeah, yeah, totally. It's like, I don't know who this is.
Yeah.
She also got me this shirt, which is a Back to the Future the musical shirt, and again on the back,
Jesus.
1985, 1955. 1.21 gigawatts. She also got me a poster from the musical, which I'm hoping to hang there.
Yep.
There, in that space. It's very...
nice.
Very cool.
That's sick.
And then down the bottom, it's got that new sound you've been looking for.
Very
cool. 1/2 more things. I don't know how you'd count them. I guess technically they're 2 things, but
that's how you would count them.
Exclusively from France, Marvel comic books. I tried to look them up to see if these actually existed in English, and they do not.
Cool. Even cooler.
Yeah. So, so they're not just like French, translations of these comics, or at least, the numbering doesn't line up.
Yeah.
Because this is Strange number 302. Les Vengers.
Ah, yes.
Yep.
The all-girl team.
Good. That took a sec.
Yeah.
So the one that says Strange has Spider-Man on it, which is kind of cool.
I was going to say, it's very odd.
It's very weird. Les Vengers has like Captain America, Quicksilver, Vision, Black Panther, and I guess Goliath. Giant Man.
Yeah, cool.
So she found those just at like a street vendor.
Cool.
She was just walking around. And the last thing, which I was really hoping to be able to fit in one of these squares, but it just doesn't fit diagonally.
Oh, damn.
And there's a little bit to this because it's going to look like just a straight up thing.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I got this. Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's sick.
There's clips here. All right.
Open it up.
I'll dip my webcam. Yeah. So this is from friends of mine, Daniel and Yvette, as a housewarming gift.
Good. Here it is.
It's a toolkit. This is an actual hammer.
That was the bit that every time I see it almost sells me. It's the fact that the middle bit is just a hammer.
It's so funny. So you've got the proper, it's so big.
Yeah.
It's such a big hammer grip. There's even, I don't know why. Well, I guess, it's toolkit, but this thing, there's a thing here. And I was like, what is this? I couldn't figure it out. This is a phone repair kit.
Oh, wow.
So this is a screwdriver set for mobile phones.
Specifically for phones. Amazing.
Which is very cool. I'd never heard or seen of that before, especially as like a standard thing built in.
That's the thing you have to order online because you're like, how the fuck do I open this phone?
Yeah.
And then you buy something. That's cool.
So what a cool idea to just build it straight into a full toolkit.
Is there a tiny Mjolnir in there as well? Where your thumb
There is, yes.
Yeah.
It is it's a bottle opener.
Amazing. Adorable. Oh, wow.
It's even got the text,
Yeah.
I was really hoping that it would fit in one of those squares like diagonally or something, but it's like this much too big, all directions. It just would have been cool, especially with a light and stuff.
Yeah. Bugger. At least we can finally see the Horizon Zero Dawn statue. At least that has a home.
That's right. Yeah. and little Aloy.
Yeah.
So cool.
Very cool. Shall we
do some news? Yeah, let's do some news.
I didn't mean to do that. I might kick us off because I got a chunky boy to kick us off.
Oh, please do. Let's do it.
Thick boy. This is like the epitome of actual news when I do actual news on this, where I've gone, I know you've touched this. I know you've been around this.
Me?
But I feel like you probably haven't absorbed it fully. And I'm sure some of our listeners haven't either. So I'm like, I feel like, you know, as much as we do funny news, this is like an overview of an actual bit of news that you might want to.
Okay. Cool.
And it's all the Warner Brothers HBOMax madness that's happening at the moment.
Sure.
Obviously, the big thing that happened April this year was the merger between Warner Media and Discovery. That was the huge thing that kind of kicked off a lot of shows started to get cancelled. Basically, the CW died. This is all kind of spearheaded by the newly appointed CEO of Warner Discovery, David Zaslav. And my next point after that is David Zaslav is a big head. It's very hard to describe all the things that are wrong with this man, but I grabbed what I thought was going to be a bunch of quotes. It ended up being one quote, and then one I just didn't bother finishing because it was enough. But the first major quote was from this dude. We have a different view on the wisdom of releasing direct streaming films, and we've taken some aggressive steps to course correct the previous strategy. We're not going to launch a movie until it's ready. We're not going to launch a movie to make a quarter, and we're not going to put a movie out unless we believe in it. There are a lot of lines in there that a lot of the people that are now without a job aren't a big fan of, in terms of things like we're not going to release it unless we believe in it. And you know, everyone working on those projects did. The worst thing is he's the epitome of like a new CEO or a new politician, where he was around with the previous CEO. The CEO was the one that kind of front-runned all the like straight to streaming movies or simultaneous like Wonder Woman and stuff, where they put something on HBO Max. And the whole time David Zaslav is like, yeah, cool. That's the right way to do this. That all is perfect. And as soon as he's in charge, he's like, fuck you. I'm not doing that. And just cancels everything that his predecessor had set up. And that's why everything's falling apart. The big thing that happened most recently, which I talked to you and Ben about, was the moving of 2 DC films. Shazam was originally going to be in December this year, and that was really exciting because Shazam's great and we don't want to wait for that any longer. But that's now been bumped to March next year, and the slot it took in December this year was Aquaman's. So Aquaman was moved into March next year. Aquaman's now been moved to December next year, which is a full year from when it was supposed to be released.
Wait, Aquaman is December?
Yes, I thought it was this year, but it's been moved to 2023.
What?
A film that had finished, and the leading line was it needed more time in pre-production. I can't imagine what reshoots they need to do following certain things that happened this year.
Amazing.
So yeah, Aquaman's a full year from its original release.
Wow.
So that's the big recent news, but of course the big things that kind of happened was a bunch of projects got cancelled that were going to be made for HBO Max. HBO Max as a service is kind of dwindling. It's more becoming, I think it's just becoming like, it's still, HBO Max is the name of it, the idea of it's less tailor-made content. Like, they don't want to be making things direct to stream anymore because HBO Max as a channel still exists. So it's like, it goes there and goes there rather than HBO Max own kind of content. So all of these things were that. Big one, of course, being Batgirl, which fucking sucks.
Oh yeah, that was the film, right?
Yes. Yeah.
The film's gone. Yeah. Dang.
The Batgirl film, which was like Michael Keaton, and I can never remember all the other actors, but a lot of people that it was going to be their jumping off point for like a big career in cinema. Now their first ever project doesn't exist. The directors of it are actually the 2 guys that they've done a bunch of stuff. They did the new Bad Boys movie, as well as they directed the pilot and the finale of Miss Marvel, the 2 best episodes. So, you know, not bad. The other thing, which is pretty huge, is Batman Caped Crusader, which may find a place. This is an animated spiritual sequel to the original Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, I remember.
And the names behind this, Bruce Timm, obviously from the original, J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves. Huge.
Whoa, dang.
This is supposed to be a huge thing. This is the only one that kind of seems like it might have a life elsewhere because it's too big to lose. But I don't know where that will be. The other one, other DC big one was there was going to be a Wonder Twins film. I'm sure you're familiar with those characters, Josh.
Of course.
Yeah, good. Then a slew of other things. There was a Looney Tunes musical called Bye Bye Bunny. Fully a musical start to finish, not like a musical number in there. Looney Tunes musical.
That sounds fun.
Correct.
Hell and bring back other thing, Bugs Bunny, please.
Because they've got a decent Looney Tunes show going at the moment that like gets close to the originals, but like little features would have been awesome. Because there was that one, and there was also one called The Day the Earth Blew Up, which is also a very fun Looney Tunes title.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Dang.
One that I didn't know about until today is a special called Did I Do That to the Holidays? A Steve Urkel story. So Steve Urkel. So that's the one that, you know, that like it's come back into meme popularity, but it's the character from Family Matters that goes, did I do that? You know that thing?
Whoa, vaguely, yeah. I remember like Urkel. I remember that name.
That
rings a bell, but
it's not our thing. Yeah, totally. But that was the thing that existed. Merry Little Batman was going to be an animated thing which featured a 6-year-old Damian Wayne on Christmas, feeling very alone, which is cute. The other huge one that's gotten a heap of backlash is Scoob Holiday Haunt, which was a prequel film to the Scoob movie that came out a few years ago.
Oh, that would have been cool.
And that one was entirely finished. The last thing that needed to be done was the score, and they still recorded it because they still had studio sessions and stuff like that planned. So all the musicians went in and recorded the score to the film because they were like, why not?
Jeez.
So a finished film exists for Scoob Holiday Haunt. And the whole thing is the most gross thing about it is they're cancelling it because they don't have much faith in them making money. So by cancelling them and never releasing them, it's a tax write-off. So they don't lose any money in never releasing them.
Gross.
So that's the worst part about all of this.
Yeah.
Is
freaking money, man.
Yeah, they don't care about the people that have worked on it or the effort or the time that people have put in. They're just like, well, if we don't release them, if we do release them and they suck, we lose money. But if we never release them, it's only a couple million that we've lost. It's like, fuck you. So that's all terrible. One other little weird thing that old mate's doing, on HBOMax, a bunch of shows are just disappearing. Shows that they don't want on HBOMax to like cloud brands and stuff like that. Really weird. The first one which I was incredibly shocked by was Aquaman King of Atlantis, which is that new 3-episode.
The animated one. That's been cancelled?
It's been removed from HBO Max. So anyway, if you go to HBO Max, it doesn't exist. It's like bizarre.
It sucks. I wanted to watch that. That looked like Adventure Time, right? It was the Adventure Time looking one. Yeah,
totally. Like pastel-y, poppy kind of colors.
Yeah.
I think the good thing about these things that have been removed is I don't think it'll overly affect us because it's like Binge has its own license, or if it's on Netflix, it's a separate dealing kind of thing. But it's an overall gross thing that HBO Max is, and then Warner Brothers, all these people are doing. So they remove those. They removed just a bunch of Sesame Street episodes and specials, and because they were just like, we don't want those specific ones. So really random. Then Sesame Street just put basically the entire back catalog on YouTube and tweeted a thing that was like, if you're missing any episodes, check out our YouTube channel. Like,
wow, that's amazing.
Cheeky.
Good job.
There was that one that I don't think anyone will miss, but I didn't know exists, was a show called Little Ellen, which is an animated thing of a tiny little Ellen in like a kid show, which like Ellen DeGeneres.
Ellen DeGeneres? What? That's so weird.
Which I don't know how it passed us by, but it existed and now it no longer does.
Weird.
Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures, which was an animated series from like 2013. It's on Netflix here. That got pulled. And the biggest one, which is Infinity Train, which is an animated series that has gone through upheaval. Like, it took forever to get it to be made. There was a lot of knockbacks. Warner Brothers are like, we don't care about your IP, all that kind of stuff. It finally got made. It's been removed in this weird culling of content on HBO Max. And the creator, Owen Dennis, had a comment, which is, I had no idea it was coming. I've talked to other people that have had their shows removed and they weren't contacted either. So it was like, again, they're just being shit. Like, this is
That's
HBO Max and Warner Brothers are fucked at the moment. So
it just seems like the only thing they're putting out, which they're barely putting out, are DC films.
Yeah.
What else do they have anymore? Well, they're cancelling everything else.
Every other thing. So, yeah, that's the thing. Out of all this, they also just don't have enough money to put out multiple films. So only 2 movies are coming out this year. I think I chucked them in there. It is obviously Black Adam, which comes out, I think, next month. And then the movie Don't Worry, Darling, which is the Harry Styles and Florence Pugh one that's had a few trailers. So, yeah, there's a bunch of other films that have probably been bumped along with Shazam and Aquaman, but they're the 2 big ones. Basically, yeah, they only have enough money to release 2 films this year because of everything they've done.
That's insane. That's insane.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah. Insanity.
Far out. Well, from people that suck and care way too much about money to a man who is just delightful and doesn't care about money at all.
Yeah.
Masahiro Sakurai, I'm just going to call him Sakurai from now on, has created a YouTube channel. It is just delightful. It's
cool.
So lovely. So Dolphin Pants recommended this to Argon and I in our gaming chat on Discord, patreon.com/each to their own, can get you into that Discord. And this is the guy from like the Super Smash Brothers stream announcements and stuff where he just sits at a desk and tells you everything. And he looks quite young, but he's like really like lovely and sweet. I didn't realize he actually created Kirby. So this is a man that is probably like fairly old, but looks like he's about 30.
You give him too much credit. He drew a circle and colored it pink.
It's true. But like this is, he created Kirby as a
mascot.
Like on Game Boy, I think was the original one.
Yeah.
His title is like that a lot of people talk about is Super Smash Brothers and Kirby creator. So I think he might have been one of the co-creators of the original Super Smash Brothers as well.
Jesus.
Which is nuts. Like this is a man who looks like he's in his 20s or 30s. Probably in his 50s.
Yeah.
His YouTube channel is essentially a free masterclass in game development, or probably more specifically game design. Just all of the tips and tricks and things that he's picked up on over time. The channel's been up for 2 days at the time of recording. There are 4 videos up already. I think 3 came out yesterday and 1 came out today. He's currently at 228,000 subs. And those 4 videos currently have over 500,000 views across all 4.
Good.
Which is pretty good. Yeah. And in his first video, he's constantly like, I don't know how many people are going to watch this or whether they're going to care because this is pretty niche.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you created Super Smash Brothers and people just want to look at you, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's like even if they're not game devs or watching, it's all right. You got our eyes.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's his first video. His second video is more about like his game dev history, the games that he's worked on over time, kind of showing his credentials and why we should listen to him if people don't know who he is. His third video is about the importance of stopping for big moments, like heavy hits.
Yeah, cool.
Like kind of having like, the animation stops and there's like a zoom in just before something happens, like stuff like that.
That is specific.
It's very very specifically niche, which is cool. And the fourth video that came out today is about, I think, the creation of Kirby in the first Kirby game, which is very cool.
I was going to say his next one would just be how to design Kirby. It's like, that's how specific it is. It's like, I can't take anything from this. You're just teaching me how you thought of Kirby.
Totally.
Not principles. Yeah, good.
Yes. But yeah, his first video, he sort of says like he's going to be using footage and examples from all different types of games, not just Nintendo, from what I can tell. Yeah, cool. I think he also says that he's going to try and get permission from all the other publishers and stuff to use their footage. So he's going to do everything as officially as possible.
That's very
he's already gotten Nintendo's like full thumbs up to use any Nintendo properties. He's also said that he doesn't care about making money out of any of this. So he's never going to put any ads in videos. Cool. So there's never going to be like a mid video ad that comes up for a mattress or something. Yeah. And the videos, he's like, and I'm aware that like, the longer the video, the more money you can make. And he said, these videos will be between 2 and 5 minutes long. It's like, I don't care about the money. Yeah. They're going to be short and concise. Yeah. And he said, he knows that the more he talks, the less people will retain. So he wants to keep, he wants the concepts to be bite-sized and simple, but like super informative at the same time, so that anyone, whether they've been in the industry for a really long time or want to get into the industry or just want to learn more about the games that they love and why certain concepts exist in video games, anyone can get anything out of it, but it's just super quick little bite-sized. After saying all of this, he's like, so I'm actually going to be losing money doing this because he's got video editors to pay, but he's not going to be making any money that he's aware of out of these. But he just wants to impart his game design knowledge to people that are interested. So it's just very cool. It's
a nice
very
guy.
Sweet. Yeah, and the videos are very Nintendo, so I wouldn't be surprised if the people that edit the Nintendo streams are also the same people that are editing his videos. I think the first video is the longest at about 7 minutes, where he's describing what the channel is going to be. But every other video has been, about 3 to 5 minutes. I think that maybe the latest one or one of them was about 5 minutes, 15 seconds. So he's already broken his rule. But it's just a delightful thing to watch, and I am going to watch every video.
Yeah, I'm going to need to.
When they're that short.
Totally. That's perfect lunch hour. I'll add that to my watch.
Perfect lunch hour is 2 to 5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean,
great lunch hour.
Some days works for, there's a lot going on. 2 to 5 minutes,
true.
That's good. That's pretty
That's
good.
all you got.
I could scoff a sausage.
I was going to say scoff a sandwich.
But again, scoff a sausage sandwich. Done it. Easy.
Scoff sausage sandwich.
Done. Going from one game dev that's a lovely man to another game dev. I guess he's a game dev. I don't know what he did before he was the biggest man ever. Phil Spencer. He's pretty nice. Have you met Phil? You've met Phil. You've been near Phil.
I've been near Phil.
Yeah.
Haven't met Phil, but I've been in the same room as Phil.
You've met Eyes, I'm sure.
Yeah, he looked at me.
You've met Eyes.
Sure he did.
Phil, he's always talking. He's talking again. This time he's saying the things that we've kind of been talking about for ages. I just thought I'd bring it back up because he did. This is a little quote. I think it was for Eurogamer or something like that.
Sure.
He said, it's kind of on the idea of exclusives. Maybe you happen in your household to buy an Xbox. I find this already wild. He says, you buy an Xbox and then I buy a PlayStation. I'm like, that's wild that you didn't put yourself in the Xbox purchaser's shoes.
Yeah, what?
You're already doing more than I think any other game CEO would do in that situation. So thank you, Phil. He says, maybe you happen in your household to buy an Xbox and I buy a PlayStation, and our kids want to play together and they can't because we bought the wrong piece of plastic to plug into our television. We would really love to be able to. He knows. He knows it's the same thing. It has a different controller. We really love to be able to bring more players in, reducing friction, making people safe, secure when they're playing, allowing them to find friends and play with friends regardless of what device. This is the bit that I'm like, Phil just doesn't give a fuck. Maybe in the short run, there's some people in our company that don't love it, but I think as we get over the hump and see where the industry can continue to grow, it proves out to be true. He's always been this guy. Like, even when you met Eyes with him, it was like, we all love each other. Everyone should just be able to play games. Obviously, the big thing of them acquiring Activision with Call of Duty, there's that thing of like, how long will that be on both consoles? But he had a quote where he's like, Call of Duty's still a PlayStation game for at least the next 4 years. Like, I'm not changing that. That's not on me. But yeah, it was just an interesting one to see him bringing that up again, especially because there's basically been no exclusives for any console this year, apart from Horizon. But even that's kind of got precedent that it will get to PC eventually. Like, PlayStation just is shoveling across to there nowadays anyway.
For sure.
Yeah, but I think we're both on the same page in terms of exclusives don't mean anything really. Like,
pretty much. Totally. And especially like having a game having online be exclusive, especially if the game exists on both.
Totally.
Like, cross-play should just exist
it's
across
in the name.
board. It is.
Cross-play shouldn't be cross-generation. Just be for anyone. Just across any console.
It should be everywhere. And like exclusives. Look, I wouldn't care if, Spider-Man came to Xbox, stuff like that. What do I care? I can still play it. I can play it on whatever I want. I don't
totally.
Why should it matter if someone who has an Xbox but doesn't have a PlayStation can play a game that previously only I could.
PlayStation's still the problem, isn't it? I feel like there's very little like Xbox does that annoys people in terms of exclusives. It's like they have Forza and Halo and stuff, but people are like, well, that's an Xbox game. I don't care. Whereas it's always PlayStation that's like, that's ours. Fuck you. And it's like, why? Like, you're just making us sad. Like, no one, because totally. I mean, there's probably PlayStation fanboys that for some reason find that as a win. But even as PlayStation fanboys, we're always like, that sucks. Like, like I still think about Spidey being exclusive for Marvel's Avengers.
That one's super weird because that is an exclusive character for a platform on a game that is on nearly every platform.
It's on Game Pass. Like,
insane.
You can't play one of the characters.
So strange. I don't know how it works.
I hate it. I'm all for a generation where it is just a different piece of plastic in a house. That's fine. Yeah. I'm with Phil there.
There you go. Let's continue hating on PlayStation because as you previously mentioned, Sony is increasing PS5 costs worldwide except for America.
That was the weirdest bit.
That's the weirdest part, right? America is the only one that isn't getting an increase. Basically, the only one. It's the only one that got a mention that isn't. Like, that they specifically said it's happening in all these countries except America.
They said, they said selected markets and then went on to list every country in the world. I'm like, so just not America.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Weird. And only like the United States.
Yeah.
Canada and South America, they get increases.
Screw you guys.
Yeah, just United States, Central America, the only ones. Yeah. So they stated, I don't know where, I think it's just on their website. It was on, the official blog. One of their blogs, yep. This seems like a load of crap too. It seems like the petrol price increase like excuse. The global economic environment is a challenge that many of you around the world are no doubt experiencing. We're seeing high global inflation rates as well as adverse currency trends impacting consumers and creating pressure on many industries. Based on these challenging economic conditions, SIE, Sony Interactive Entertainment, has made the difficult decision to increase the recommended retail price of the PS5 in select markets across Europe, Middle East, Africa, Asia Pacific, Latin America, as well as Canada. There will be no price increase in the United States. Insane. That is their statement.
Yep.
I find this insane. I also find this seems like the same excuse as the National Bank or whatever. The whole the interest interest rate repayments for properties and stuff are just skyrocketing like crazy.
That's
and it's like, and the government is like shutting them down. Like people are probably potentially in that industry going to be losing their jobs because they're being stupid. And then like the petrol prices, like I'm pretty sure the government stepped in and went, stop doing that. And
you
now
can't
it's
go
like
anymore.
dropped back down.
Yeah.
Well, it did. There's a petrol station down the road from where I live.
Yeah.
And prices
I'll drive
so good.
there.
It's like, it's like I get a 98 for my car.
Yep.
170. Like consistently just 170. It's like,
fuck yeah.
Thank you. It's back. It's basically back to how it used to be.
That's normal. Yeah.
It's very nice. So for the Australian increase for PS5, basically just $50 increase per console. So the disc edition of the PS5 is now $799.95 at recommended retail, and the digital edition is $649.95. I thought that the digital edition used to be $500.
I thought so too, because I looked into it and it was like eBay was doing 600 or something like that when it launched. Yeah, I thought it was significantly cheaper than
because I also looked up Xbox's digital the Xbox Series S, which was the equivalent sort of price, and that's $500.
Yeah, weird.
So at some point they've already increased the price of the digital edition and they're doing it again.
Gross.
So it's now $150 more than it was at
when it
release
launched.
2 years ago, and it's increasing. And this is probably one of the only times that a console has increased in price.
That's the
especially
fuck bit, right?
after 2 years.
Like the fact, I don't think anything goes up. That's not normal for any product to be like, apart from like food and like things that have like a variable price. But like, if a thing comes out and it is like a box final edition, does it go up? That's not normal. Like I know because they're going the whole like tech wagon, but everyone on the planet has said tech's fine at the moment. Parts are good. Like we're not. That's definitely not the route that like. It's hard to. It's still weird that they can't even produce these consoles, let alone that they're pushing the price up.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
There's another argument within all that too, like within the petrol price argument too, where they're like, oh well, you know, we lost a lot of money in COVID and stuff, but it's like so did everybody else.
Yeah, we don't have money
now that people aren't driving. They and potentially lost their jobs. Now they need to drive places. Yeah, and you're hiking up the price after they did not make money. So now it seems like, Sony, who probably doing fine. Billion-dollar country. Probably, basically. Are hiking it up, I guess, because of inflation. But, like, people can't afford things now. Yeah. Don't increase the price. People won't be able to buy your platform.
We can't
consoles.
Pay. Like, you're like, we're not getting enough money, but we don't have enough money to spend. So then you put it up and then we don't buy it and then you don't get more money. It's a cycle. It's
a vicious cycle, guys. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
The world's, like, you and I, not political, not financial.
We've already hit our point of how much we can talk about this. Like, that's we know as much as we've said.
Totally.
Yeah.
But it's like, the world's finances are effed. They're so messed up. Like, there's, I don't know.
This has been the worst like news segment. Everyone sucks except for Phil Spencer and Mr. Kirby.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Mr. Kirby. That'll do. so ridiculous.
Good. Is that it?
I have one more. I have one more. Before I fully explain this, I just want to preface this. Gamescom is currently happening, and I have seen next to nothing about it because I've been way too busy.
Yeah.
Other than like this game's coming out for probably very limited number of games. One of the things that I heard about, and this isn't the full piece of news, is that Dead Island 2 is actually probably coming out, which is nuts. Because I think that was announced like nearly 10 years ago. I think that's
one of the greatest cinematic trailers ever.
Yeah. Like, I'd never played these games. I'd never been interested. When I saw that trailer, I was like, that looks great. That looks very funny. I'm keen for that.
10 years on.
Still not out. Apparently, it's actually out. Coming out. Mm-hmm. And I heard from a guy at work, the other programmer, Sam, that this is the third developer that this game has been passed to over the last 10 years or however long.
Because I watched the gameplay trailer and the whole time I'm like, been doing this for 10 years? That makes sense if it's just been rebuilt 3 times, basically.
Yeah. I think I heard that they started from scratch. The third company just went, we're just going to start from scratch because this is
wild.
Yeah, so I don't know whether it's been started from scratch every time what's happening, but crazy. But the actual news is that Dead Island 2 will have Alexa voice control integrated into the game to initiate actions, quote, using a series of natural and intuitive voice commands.
Incorrect.
We'll see about that. So these
Alexa,
actions,
fuck him up.
These actions include being able to interact with NPCs, which is interesting.
Okay.
Don't know how that's going to work out. Swap out weapons. Don't just press a button on your controller. Yeah. Engage in special combat abilities and even goad zombies. Is goad like attract? So can you like yell at them? Yeah. Which that's cool. I like that.
But
is that and then they can turn.
Is that Alexa or is that what video games like PC games have done for years? Like
here we go. Here's my next bit.
Okay.
Weirdly, the article I read also said that you don't need an Echo device. You don't need Alexa. But it'll work with a microphone.
Okay.
So it seems like it's just voice activation feature.
Yeah. but somehow powered by Alexa or something.
Yes. So I think that's the thing. So within the article, it said that there was something integrated called Alexa Game Control, which I think is just like an API or a plugin that devs can just implement into their game and have that. So I think that's where the Alexa part
That's
comes
cool
in.
that exists, though. That's
It's pretty cool.
bit of tech.
Yeah. So like Amazon have a whole bunch of cool gaming things. Like we use AWS, Amazon Web Services, which is all just databases. It's like a lot of companies use it to host games and stuff, like host online lobbies and things like that.
Yep.
So they've got a whole bunch of that sort of stuff.
Cool.
Also, if people have forgotten, and we certainly have, but we're apparently meant to put our game on it, Amazon also have their own online streaming service thing. Remember?
Right. No
one does.
No.
It was their Google Stadia.
Yeah,
remember they did that thing?
Vaguely.
Yeah, vaguely.
I vaguely
apparently
remember.
Our publishers have told us that we need to put our game on that.
I remember it existing. I remember them doing it, but I don't remember it being here. Yeah, wow.
I think it's out there. I think it exists.
Nuts.
So yeah, they have a few gaming things happening.
Okay.
But yeah,
good on them. Have you seen the trailer for it? Have you watched the new?
I haven't. I've watched nothing. I've seen basically nothing.
Yeah, it's the only thing I've seen because I was like, "There's no way," and I clicked on it, and it looks pretty good. It looks kind of death loopy in terms of its combat. Like it's very fast, very arcane in its stuff, which was surprising. It's like I'm glad it is, but in my mind it was going to be like Dead by Daylight or like any other zombie game. But this has like a nice, like quick, slicey feel to it, which is cool.
Yeah,
so,
good. Awesome.
Should be fun.
Keen for that.
Cool. All right. Was that the news?
That was the news.
Wow. Again. Fuck.
Why does it do that?
This is the segment where we talk about patrons, and I've got one. Got one in my pocket. Yes. This week I'm going to be talking about our old friend Dingo, who hung out last Saturday or whenever I played Rollerdrome, which I'll talk about in a bit.
Awesome.
And had a good chat. We talked about Spider-Man, and he talked about the fact that he loves the Amazing Spider-Man films. So Dingo is still the best patron we have that isn't named Emmy. Legally, she has to be at the top. But
yes, Dingo.
Dingo's the best.
Good.
If you want to see Dingo, he's quite often live, and I know this because I'm logged into Twitch on my dad's phone, and he gets notifications that says Dingo is live, and every time he gets one, he's like, "The fuck is Dingo? Like, what is that?" And I'm like,
"That's great."
Sorry. So if you want to check out Dingo, he streams a whole bunch of stuff pretty randomly. Yeah, he's what do you call it? Variety streamer.
Yeah, but he's always on,
constantly doing stuff. Twitch.tv/Dingo055. So the word Dingo and then the number 055.
Yeah.
Couldn't get Dingo outright, but that's okay. You know, we couldn't get ETTO. Some weirdos using those 4 letters.
They're not though.
No, they're not. They haven't.
Very
used
aware
it in
that
years.
they're not using it.
We'll get
trying.
We'll fucking get you. Let's get you. Should we get some questions?
Get some questions. Fucking yeah.
This is the Cues from You segment. If you want to submit cues, you can go to patreon.com/each to their own and get to our super secret Discord. Go to the hashtag start a channel and submit it in the form. That's how you can submit questions. Hashtag. Have you got a question lined up in your brain?
I have a question. I've already found one. Because there is one that I've thought about for a long time. I just read this question and I went, I've been thinking about this existing for
unrelated.
a while. Yeah.
Cool.
So, Librarian Dolphin, can't imagine who that could be. Probably Dingo. What franchise should expand into comics? So, a franchise that doesn't already exist in comics that should exist in comics. My one is Final Space.
Of course.
Because it's been cancelled.
Yeah.
And he didn't get to finish it. So it should continue to exist in comic form. I think it would work. I think it would be freaking amazing. He also no longer has access to the rights. He no longer owns Final Space, I don't believe. Mm-hmm. So this is Olin Rogers. Final Space is a Netflix series. I didn't explain anything.
You assumed. Netflix. You've spoken of it many a times.
I have.
Give it to him.
But Yes, so Olin Rogers, he's a YouTuber, been following him for like 10-ish years now. He does very funny like storytelling videos and stuff. He's a bit of a filmmaker as well, and he has, created or tried to create and sell a whole bunch of shows and animated shows and things like that. The one that got picked up by Team Coco and CBS.
Or TBS, yeah, because that was Conan's channel. Yeah.
Was Final Space, which is just a great, like, funny but also like full of heart and pretty adult because there's quite a bit of like gore, like dude's arms get ripped off and there is bone and blood still sticking out. Blood sticking out, that's right. That's what blood does.
Crystallizes. Just fucking chills there.
I think earlier this year, he found out, I think TBS got taken over again. They survived multiple takeovers so far.
Yep.
This one, it unfortunately did not survive. So season 3 was the last season, but they didn't get to finish the show, which he was crying about in his video because he was, his show just got cancelled. It's crushed. But he was like, in terms of a show, like, it was successful.
Yeah.
Because it got 3 freaking seasons.
Yeah.
Like, what shows, even on Netflix, even Netflix-funded shows, what shows get
especially animated
seasons? Yeah.
Animated shows don't get multiple seasons.
It's crazy. So, like, he's super stoked with it, like, with what it got to, but he didn't get to finish the story, which is unfortunate. There's some games that he's talked about as well. That he's, I think, like, other people have started making and then been like, hey, is this okay? And he's like, yes, I want to be part of this. So he's like partially involved, I think, in the making of these. He'll probably do voice acting and things like that.
Yeah, cool.
And yeah, I have always thought that it should go into comic books. Although he doesn't, I guess, have the IP, but I don't know if he doesn't have the IP or he doesn't have the rights to make it
like an animated show.
Maybe it's just a show because people can still make the game. Maybe he could, continue it in comic book form as well, which would be sick.
That'd be good.
Yes.
I thought I had one, but then I looked it up and it apparently already exists, so now I'll need to check it out. But I can't think of anything else now, so I'm just going to say it. And recommend that we all read the comics. A similar vein, a show that I don't think particularly got cancelled before it finished its story, but there was still more stories to tell. Dirk Gently comes up every now and then.
Oh, there was comics for that?
There's apparently adapted comics from the original Douglas Adam thing, and then there's comics for the show as well.
I think am actually. You might have them? I think I saw. No, I don't have them, but I think I saw them recently at All Star Comics in Melbourne.
Cool. But
I was just looking at the wall of graphic novels and saw them. It's like Image or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's IDW.
IDW also
it's
makes
one
sense.
of the two. Yeah. But yeah, apparently it exists. I don't know how many exist of it, but
sure.
I think that universe could really live and breathe in comic form and just get weirder. Similar to like Doom Patrol, and maybe I'm just thinking of Doom Patrol, where the show kind of hits a Dirk Gently a Netflix show level of weird, but then the comic is just like almost hard to read in terms of how like psychedelic it is. I think that the same kind of thing could be done for that Netflix show because it got weird. There was a cat that was a dog or something. There was a person and a cat or something. That was the second season.
I didn't. I was about to say I didn't watch the second season. I never got around to it. Is it still even on Netflix?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the rights of because it was BBC America show. I don't know. But that's my answer. That'd be cool. More of that in comic form would be good. My next question, or my first one indeed, Will. Bimbeck says, help, I'm stuck on a long car trip and I'm very bow, but I assume he means bored. But I'll take it at face value that he has turned into the character from Toy Stories. So I'm imagining that he is made of, what was she made of? Like fiberglass or kind of, it's like fiber, what's the...
Who's this? Who are we talking about?
Bo Peep from Toy Story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What would that be? Or like plaster?
Like a porcelain?
Porcelain. So he's stuck in a car, quite a large porcelain dress, which can't really... It can compress in the Toy Story universe, but if he was Bo in the real world, obviously, that wouldn't compress in the way that Toy Story allows it to. So he's stuck in, and I don't know how big his car is. I'd put BMAC in a car like yours, I'd say. I feel like he'd go on like that. So there's a decent amount of room.
I feel like that's also because BMAC reminds me of Liam. Our friend Liam, who also has a Subaru Forester. So
not anymore.
Sense.
I was in his new car. It's very cool. I don't want to reveal it on here in case he doesn't want it revealed, but I'll tell you, it's good. It's not, and it's not the type of car you would expect him to buy, considering his history with cars. It's like he went in a different direction than I was expecting, but good on him. So, BMAC, if you're stuck in a car trip in a Forester, what you need to deal with is your huge porcelain dress. I would say just shatter it. Get rid of it. Let those legs free. If you can, slip into some overalls. Yeah. Shave them off.
Oh, overalls. Yeah. Nice. Good choice.
Just deal with that. I think you'd rock overalls as well, BMAC. I think porcelain or not. Good luck on your long car trip as Bo. I love that he's very Bo. He's not just Bo, but he's like Bo, you know?
Honestly, I think it took me a second it took me finding the question to actually understand what the hell you were going on about. I think I just lost track because I was trying to find the next question.
Yeah.
And
the question that I had posed was nonsense. So it's like, usually you can go, all right, I'll think about that while I find the next one. But it's like, the fuck is he talking about?
No, just absolutely lost it. That was great.
So hopefully you're doing well. I think you submitted that question 2 weeks ago, BMAC. Hopefully you found those overalls and got to your destination all right.
Yeah, hopefully the car trip is finished. In the last 2 weeks. It's a long car trip.
That's a long car trip.
It is.
I don't think there's anywhere in Australia you could drive that's 2 weeks.
Yeah, maybe just around the whole thing.
If you're not going direct.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you do it,
is this also? Are we talking like basically nonstop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you just drove around the circumference of Australia, that's probably 2 weeks.
Yeah. That's probably. Yeah, because it's like it took 12 hours to drive from Sydney to like Brisbane. That's about 12 hours.
Yeah. It's probably going all the way 9 days if you put some stops in.
Yeah.
Fuck, we're small, aren't
we? Although, if you actually put us over the top of Central America, we're basically the same size. Which is weird.
That is odd.
But they fly everywhere. Yeah. And we just have... They have a lot more livable land mass, whereas we have too much desert. You can pretty much only live on the outside of our country.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
whereas they just have the entire middle available. We don't have that. Yeah.
Weird. Countries are weird. Man,
it is weird.
We're really sounding smart this week. Talking about politics, fuel prices, circumferences of countries.
Amazing. How good are we?
We're so good.
We've leveled up in the last 2-3 weeks. We've learned a lot. Dion asks, do you have any hobbies that you don't do but think would be cool to do?
That's a good one.
I have one that you and I frequently speak of when we see fan art, and drawing. Drawing would be so good. It's so cool to be able to do good.
Pen to paper make something look good.
Yeah, totally. It would be so, like, just to have that creative vision in your head to just be like, I know exactly what I'm going to draw and how to do it.
Yeah.
I have very little visual thoughts. I can barely picture somebody's face that I know.
Yeah.
I can't think of someone's face and go, yeah, that's what they look like.
Yeah.
I basically can't do that.
That's wild.
It's really, it's really tough for me. It's bizarre. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's such a unique... It's one of those things of... People don't talk about... It's like, what color is this? And everyone would have a different answer. People don't talk about how their brains work often.
Yeah.
That was an insight in of that is unique. But maybe not. Yeah. That's probably how a lot of people do it, but no one actually talks about it.
Yeah, and I guess that's why nothing I ever do is very visually pleasing. Except for this, apparently. But
yeah, it's awesome.
I don't know what I've done here.
Yeah.
How I got that to look any good. But
no, you nailed that.
Kind of cool.
There was two. So there's actually two. I said there was one, but there's indeed two.
There's actually more.
The first one that's easier to explain is like car stuff. I'd love to like understand cars a lot. I've always like grew up with like Top Gear and Dad loves cars. I would love to understand how a car works more,
like mechanics of it. Yeah, that would be cool.
And to be able to like go, oh, something's wrong. Open bonnet. Oh yeah, I know what to do here. Resurfaced because I realized having Amazon Prime, I have all of the Grand Tour, and we've been watching a lot of the specials. And it's like
nice
when their cars break down and there's like shit leaking out of it and all that, and they're like, and then it's driving in 5 seconds. It's like someone knew that car inside and out and just went, well, we'll just do that and we're good. And I'm like, I would love to be able to do that, and I'd love to be able to buy shit cars and fix them up, and that's a hobby I would love to have. The other one is cliff climbing, like rock climbing, but on like actual like outdoors.
Yeah. That would be cool. Yeah,
that's the one like sporty thing I would love to do.
Yes, I love rock climbing. I recently accidentally found a rock climbing place when I took a wrong turn.
Yeah.
Like yesterday or 2 days ago.
Sick.
And I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to come back here.
Yeah.
It was like down this weird back street that I'm sure nobody knows exists. My voice is falling apart.
Every time. You always start well with these ones. We could start. All right, let's get through it. That was that question. Do you want to do two? It's a fairly long one. We'll get to. We got some recs.
Yeah, we've just done 3.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Do you have one more? Do you have one in your head?
Another question.
Yeah, if you've got one.
Do you have one? That was mine. I did that one.
Fuck, I'm having a stroke. Maybe I've got COVID. BMAX says, help, I'm stuck on a long trip and I'm very bow. I did a great thing this week. I picked 4 questions because I was like, if one, Josh gets, I got a few backups. I said one of them. You picked Dion's one, which I had copied. I then deleted 3 questions. The only question that remained was BMAX, help, I'm stuck in a long car trip.
I love it.
That's where we went. Welcome to the Rec Seg, a Rec Seg that now has a new thing that you missed because we got, you ready? It's a title sequence. You ready for this, Josh?
I'm ready.
Hold on. Rec. So for audio visual listeners,
it's beautiful.
It's a photo of Wreck-It Ralph in a VHS shop with the Star Wars font saying, I'm going to Rec Seg it. So the thing oh, hello. We're over here now. What I came up with last week is that Finchy was like, oh, it's weird that there's no visual there. And I was like, they can do it. So that one was supplied by Dolphin Pants. So if anyone wants to chuck something in that segment, give me some visuals.
That's great. That's awesome. Love it.
Easiest to do on the Patreon, on the Discord, so patreon.com/, you know how to do it. Just make something visual that I can put in that bit so the video listeners, or indeed the audio watchers, will see something in that bit. So that's that. Nice. This is the Rec Seg, where we talk about things that we've watched. I don't know what you've seen. It's
Finally.
all different now.
Yeah.
But you said you've seen a lot. So do you want to? Well, you've watched. Something.
I've watched a couple of things. I actually have. So my parents were here before I actually moved into this apartment. I think even before I had the key. Oh no. Yeah. Before I moved in, we were still having dinner and sleeping at the old apartment.
Yep.
And so at night we were like, let's just watch TV.
Yep.
Caught up. At the time, on Only Murders in the Building.
How fucking good is this season?
It's been pretty great. Yeah. It's really, really
Holy
good.
shit.
So yeah, I think I'm 2 episodes behind.
Yep.
Because it's finished, right?
Yes, yeah. There's only 2 left for you.
And the other thing I watched with my parents, and I've been interested in watching, tentative but interested in watching, is Lightyear.
Oh, nice.
I watched Lightyear. Have you seen Lightyear?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I'm like less tentative.
Sure.
I'm Eccleston-tive.
Nice. I enjoyed it. Look, it's not a kid's film. I don't think it's a kid's film. I don't think it's a movie for children.
No.
Not that it's, like
mature.
But yeah, it's not like, gruesome or anything. I think some parts are maybe a bit too scary for kids, perhaps. At times, depending on how old the kid is.
Yep.
But I think, some parts probably will just not be interesting to kids and they just won't get it.
Yep.
But it honestly, the way I would describe it, it feels like a Marvel movie, if I'm honest. It's a pretty serious film with some jokes. Mm-hmm. And Taika Waititi.
That's a Marvel movie.
Yeah, there it is. So that's kind of how I would describe it, I guess, in a way. Like it just, it feels like a fairly serious film.
Yep.
With fairly, interesting and serious consequences to things.
Yep.
But it's just got some jokes and things along the way.
The only thing I'll ask is, of the Pixar films that have come out in the last 2 years, this is the first one to go to cinemas. Would you have preferred to have seen like Luca, or I know you haven't seen Turning Red, or Raya, or like, did they deserve to be in? Well, I guess Raya did get there, but it was like a combined limited run thing.
I would have loved to have seen Raya.
Yeah, like did this feel like one that could have just gone to Disney Plus over something like Luca, which is like this sexy visual feast?
Visually, it did look very good. The trailers looked amazing. Like, visually, it looked stunning. But at the same time, I feel like it probably didn't need to go to the movies.
Yeah,
but it's a Toy Story property.
Yeah, that's why it went there.
It's almost definitely going to.
Totally.
So,
yep.
Yeah, but
cool.
I'd watch it. Give it your hour and a half.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it'll go on at some point.
Yeah.
Cool. Is that your slate?
That's just for movies and shows. Cool. Do you have movies and shows?
I got a couple.
Nice.
Season 2 of another show that dropped that is on a streaming service, Cuphead. Season 2 is out.
What?
Yes.
Already?
I think it's like 10 eps or season 2 are out.
Didn't season 1 come out like 4 months ago?
March. Yeah. So this is a full another season. One of the episodes goes for like 40 minutes. Comparatively,
what the heck?
Yeah.
Was it
weird?
Each one was like 10?
10. Yeah.
10
All the rest of them are 10. One episode's just 40 minutes just sitting there. And it was like, well, because I'll just burn through this in like an hour or two. And then it was like 40. What the fuck? I don't have time for this. So
that's bizarre. Is it just like in the middle of the season as well?
No, it's like episode 2. It's like
weird.
A 10-minute one. And then and I will say, from the 6 I've watched, so much far superior to the first season.
Cool.
Like, every episode has been really strong, making perfect use of the Cuphead stuff. Like every problem we had, it's like it's one of those wonderful things where I'm watching it and I can't remember what I didn't like. Like I'm not looking at it going, "Oh, that's better than last time," because it's just not there. I don't remember the things that we kind of waned on. So it's good. Season 2. On Netflix, at the movies, I saw Nope with Finchie. Very good.
Nice.
Very good movie.
Yeah, I do want to check it out.
Another one of those films that you can't really say anything of because it's spoilers. But see it. You can see it at home. I'm sure it'll be out soon.
Yeah. Once I get out of ISO, I'll try and... Maybe I can wrangle up Ben and we'll go see it if he hasn't seen it already.
Take your movie buddy. Definitely worth seeing that. Either cinema or at home. Doesn't matter too much. And then the last one, which you haven't watched yet, She-Hulk?
I haven't yet, no.
Yeah, cool.
That'll be tonight's viewing post this.
Double whammy.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, is all I'll say. It's pretty good.
Friend of mine was unaware that I hadn't watched it yet.
Oh, no.
Messaged me, and he said, just watched the first episode of She-Hulk. I think I'm done with Marvel.
That's wild. The first episode to just like fix your bar, if it's gotten a bit flaccid, fix your bar up a little bit. It's my favorite episode of Marvel television.
Wow.
Of the things they've made so far.
Interesting. All right. Once Netflix I watch it, I'll have to talk to him about it and talk to you about it.
Yeah. They're wrong.
Yeah. Probably. Interesting.
But that's all my TV and film. Let's talk games.
Yeah. So I've just played a couple of Netflix games.
Cool.
Yeah, finally. So since my parents were down, they had the credentials. I just never bothered to ask. I could have asked at any point in time over the last couple of years since they've been doing this. But so I finally got to play Poimpy.
Good.
It's delightful. It's so
good.
I haven't played a whole lot of it, but it is very good. So I want to jump back on.
Yeah.
Bowling Ballers is another one.
Yeah, okay.
It's sort of like a temple run, infinite runner, but it's not an infinite runner because it actually ends, and it's bowling themed.
Okay.
But it's also not like 3 lanes. You just have your finger on the screen and you just move side to side.
Right.
You go off jumps and jump over things, and you can get strikes in certain situations, and I don't know what those situations are. But they've got challenges that are like, get a strike, and I'm like, I don't know how to do it.
Good.
I'm hitting every freaking pin and I can't get a strike. I don't know what you're asking me to do. Yeah, like, what do you mean? So, yeah, and I think I've looked it up too, and it's just giving me, like, rules about bowling. Because it's called Bowling Ballers. Yeah. And then you're like, how to get a strike.
In bowling.
Game. Like, bowling is a game. Bowling, ball, strike. Like, it all just exists in normal bowling. So I don't know what to Google.
Good luck with that. And
Maybe,
there's no way.
I'll figure it out.
Who cares? Who's making an article?
Totally.
It's like, you're shooting in the dark.
I'll do it. I'll make a YouTube video about it.
Yeah, that'll be the new Mando Nerf rifle video for us.
That's it. Yeah. And the last Netflix game and the last game that I've played, other than like 45 minutes maybe of the Pathless last night, the only time I've had my TV set up in the last 2.5 weeks, is a Netflix game called Wonder Putt Forever. So it's a little quirky arcadey golf game. Yeah, it's basically What the Golf.
Yep.
But I would say weirder.
Oh.
It gets real. It's interesting. I really like it. It gets like, I feel like I probably like it more than What the Golf.
Yeah, okay, cool.
What the Golf did some fun things.
Yeah.
But I think What the Golf had the thing where it's like you putt other objects and stuff. But this is still it's still golf. You're just putting a ball.
Yeah.
But just really creative, interesting courses and things like that.
Yeah.
And the courses get weirder and like astronomical kind of thing.
Cool.
Like it goes into space and stuff. Like it's
all
really,
I played
really
is
cool.
Point Fee, so I will download that one too then.
Yeah. And I couldn't stop playing it because it was so like it was just like level to level. If you when you finished it, it would just take you to the next one. Take you to the next one.
Sick.
And it was just like really struggled to stop playing. It was very, very good.
All right.
So
put on the list.
Yes. Wonder Putt Forever. Get onto it. It's very
Wonder
good.
Putt Forever. I mentioned this last week, but I'll mention it in here unless you didn't see my tweet. I platinum Avengers.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow. Good job.
Basically, the day or two when I got home, I just was like, all right. I did one more Hive mission, which was the like 5-story one, and that pinged.
Yep.
2 of 50.
You had one left.
Yeah. So
was that in line with the count that you had?
No. So I should have had 3 more to go. So that was even lovely. Nice. And then the multi-story one, which was like the elite hero thing, which from everything I read was like a single hero, and you had to have enough that you could input them. If you died, it wasn't a matter of reviving, it was replacing a hero.
Yeah.
It was still your full team of 4. So it was like, and not particularly harder because I was already doing things at level 150. So because I never died or got downed in the 5 one, it was just that another 2 times. So I did it in like 40 minutes and just got the platinum. So,
dude,
there was nothing hard to do for the Marvels. I don't remember the other trophies, but I feel like you're at a pretty decent spot, having just played the game as well. Yeah. I think it's a pretty easy platinum, despite
it's just time. Yeah, I feel like most of it is just time.
Yep, just doing a lot of leveling up and stuff like that.
Cool.
So there you go.
Very good.
Platinum,
freaking did it. Never have to play it again.
Legit. Josh is trying to give me shit that I'll come back for the Winter Soldier, which they've announced, but I don't even think I'll announce for that. I mean, I don't think I'll come back for that.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think
it's probably not enough.
No, they would need like a Scarlet Witch or something, like something that would shake up the foundations of the game. But it's like that's just another gun guy.
A story.
Yeah.
Give us another campaign, campaign of something.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that would bring me back through. But it's just another gun boy. I'm good. I'm good, man.
Yeah.
So that's that. There's not much to say on it, but I've been playing Marvel Spider-Man on PC. It's very good. I didn't think I would. I thought my aim was to play enough to get to the DLCs and then just stream the DLCs, because I was like, I don't think I've ever replayed them, but now I'm like, I've just gotten to my apartment because they stole my stuff in the main story of Marvel Spider-Man, and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna play the whole game again. It's fine. Why not?
Nice.
Especially now that I can play it as Andrew Garfield. Like, there's no going back from that.
For sure. That's so good.
Oh, and the final thing, Rollerdrome is, for now, my game of the year.
Amazing. Yeah. I was looking at it. I was watching trailers and stuff for it on my PS5 last night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just while my parents are here watching, I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah, a bit of guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the guns. It's just that I've just spent, hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy this apartment.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to... Yeah, I waited. Is there single player campaign or is it all online?
It's no online.
The idea?
It's just
a campaign.
Yeah. It's like My Friend Pedro kind of level of just going through. There's like, what is it? It's like 4-3. It's pretty cool. I guess not really spoilers. It's just the way the game is laid out. It's kind of like you have 4 maps. You do them, and each one has like 10 challenges. To then unlock the next ones, you need to have gotten through enough like very old style, like early PlayStation. Like tick off enough things to unlock the next set of maps, and it's cool. Super fun. And as a Tony Hawk boy, I feel like there's enough of a kick in there for that as well.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad. Like movement looks great, but it's all
it's super good. The only thing that I've seen a few people have struggled with because they're Tony Hawk fans is there's no way to fall over, and so a lot of like people that are used to like failing a trick and falling kind of anticipate stopping, and so they have like a half second where they don't do anything, but the character just keeps going, and they're like, "Oh shit! I thought I was going to die." But
okay. So if you like go straight up in the air off a ramp and then come down sideways, you don't fall.
No, there's no fail state. It's why a lot of people have. It's one of those games where looking at it, you're like, why do you enjoy this? Like, there looks like there's no challenge, and the challenge purely comes in. I don't want to, because there's the one mechanic which is the best bit finding out about in the game. I don't want to reveal, but it's kind of that's the difficult bit, and then the enemies that you're up against are like they get increasingly more annoying as shit.
Sure,
and it's like, so it's not really about doing good tricks. The reason you do the tricks is pretty cool, but it's like that's just they're just there. It's like My Friend Pedro and stuff like that, where it's like
sick.
Don't die. It's the skates are just a cool way of moving, but they're not the thing that's going to kill you. So
yeah, cool. Okay, sick.
It's good. It's pretty quick to do, and then once you finish the main campaign, there's like a Hellraiser campaign, which is the same campaign, but everyone's just harder. And from the first map, every enemy is in there, and it's like once you finish it, and you're like, I'm pretty good. You go back, and you're like, holy shit! So
you finished it?
Yeah.
And how long is it?
I think to get through all of them to like unlock everything, because there's more challenges and stuff. I think it's only like 3-4 hours to get through all the maps. But like to 100%, maybe a good 10-12 hours to be good at the game.
Yeah, cool.
So
sick.
Yeah,
nice.
There's no other games, but game of the year for now.
Yeah, fair. That's
easy.
Sick. Yeah, good. I'm glad you have one.
Yeah, it's all I've got, man.
Got one. Yeah, sick. No, I'll buy that tonight.
Yeah, do it. Good. More rec?
I was just gonna say 2 more things.
Oh,
I have a goal. I'm setting now that I like live alone, potentially have more time and can get into my own routine.
Yep.
I would like to set myself a goal, or 2 goals in particular, because I want to read more.
Nice.
And I would love to be able to recommend a book. Or at least talk about a book that I've read, whether I recommend it or not. So I want to read a book a month, and also a graphic novel a month.
Yeah, nice.
Outside of our normal thing.
Comic book club, yeah.
Yeah, or like at least, a comic run of some sort, because I've got plenty of single issue comics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, both of those depending on the length of the book and graphic novel.
Yeah.
If they're huge, it might take a little longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, nice. I thought I would put that out there into the ether. I would like to get into a routine of doing a bunch of things where I just sit and focus on something else that isn't at my computer.
Yeah, nice.
One of them being music, which all my gear is over here, all set up and ready to go.
Yeah.
And reading.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, I can recommend the first 4 chapters of the Court of the Owls novelization. It's pretty good. It's very good. I'm currently reading
I do have the graphic novel of that I've been wanting to jump into as well.
Yeah.
And I have one more thing that I was going to show off. My head has been covering it for the most part. Just there. You can see. Yeah. So I'm keeping my head real still now. Spoilers. So another friend of mine sent me a housewarming gift. And one of them, which way am I going? This way. Is a fan art.
Yeah. How long's his cable? Fuck, that's a long cable.
It's a pretty long cable. It's a fan art.
Holy shit.
Of us as the Blues Brothers.
That's because from a distance I was like, that's a cool little Photoshop, but that's like actual art.
yeah, that is our faces.
Being someone that has had to like look at my face for Photoshop, so I look at that, I'm like, that's my face, but I've never done that, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool that that's actual art.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure she drew our faces.
Yeah.
There is a print of that coming your way.
Sick.
Along with a bunch of other stuff. You also left your Avengers Endgame poster on the wall, so I sent that home too.
Yeah, cheers.
Yeah,
I can put that there somewhere. I'm trying to work out where I'm going to put that art. I can hang it. Oh, yeah. I've got, that's just a bottle of tea, and I just licked my thumb. And I was like, whoa.
Some strong tea.
I'm bleeding tea.
Amazing.
Strong tea indeed. And someone that's strong as fuck is John C. Reilly. Rec. Thanks again, Dolphin Pants, for that picture. If you want to submit a RecSeg pic, head to patreon.com/each to their own, get in the Discord, and chuck it in the catch-up channel. That's the easiest way for us to nab it. That was ETTO's catch-up. You settled?
Settled.
You got COVID?
I got COVID. Yep.
Fuck.
Freaking hell. I have not been able to explore at all. I went for 2 walks with my parents like 2 weeks ago around to get dinner and stuff, but I still have no idea what's around. I haven't been to the shopping center, and I can't even do it this weekend.
No. Just lay still. No. Just lay. That's do nothing. Just stationary.
That's pretty much the plan for the weekend. I'm hoping to like finish and maybe platinum the Pathless this weekend. I've got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll read a book. Who knows?
No, you got like 7 more days. Start of the new month. That's how plans work.
Yeah, true.
Put it off.
Yeah.
But we're going to put off right now. That's the end of the podcast. If you want more of us and you're not looking at our faces right now, you can go to youtube.com/each to their own. But if you are seeing our faces and you prefer not to, you can go to any audio place and just type in ETTO, and you'll never have to look at us again. We haven't been live for a bit, but where can we be live, Josh?
We can be live at twitch.com. Switch. What am I saying?
I pulled out my headphones. Please.
I am falling apart here.
Yeah.
Twitch.tv/each to their own.
Hashtag.
Jeez. We will probably be live most Mondays and Fridays again. And every second Wednesday. Still every second Wednesday?
Yes.
Still fortnightly?
Definitely the week that this is coming out, it should be that Figures week, everybody.
Yes. And so we'll do that, and then random other streams. Keep an eye out.
And
put the little notification thing on Twitch so you know when we're live.
Please, because Josh isn't going to be able to tell you because he's got nothing left in him. Oh my god. I think
finish it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to say that I feel like we should never make content when we're almost dying, because it's the thing that like puts the nail in our sickness coffin every time. Every time.
I haven't talked this much in weeks.
Yeah. All right, let's stop talking. Until the next one, I'll be in the interim, but until the next time that we do this and I'm sitting here, I've been well.
And hopefully until the next time I won't have COVID.